Hello, viewers. If anybody's there. Oh, actually, I can see it now in the corner. 2 people, of which one is probably me on my iPad. I'm hearing myself. Why am I hearing myself again? New Year's bumps. I think this should be okay. All right, I think we're set up now. Hey, Isabel, how are you doing? Can hold on. First off, can you hear me? Oh, great. I keep checking because I keep being afraid that that there's something wrong. But I actually I got a mic for Christmas from my husband, so my audio should be a lot better now, actually. So second of all, Happy New Year. Glad that you're here to join me on my first stream of 2023. How was your... I do? Okay, good. Then I can commend my husband for the great purchase. How was your New Year's? Were you able to take a break and recharge for a bit and have a nice time with family? Or friends, or yourself, if you prefer it that way? Oh, you're still chilling. That's great. My Christmas was nice. Everything around that from a week ago was kind of hectic. I had planned to take 2 weeks off. So the stream I did last, which was 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago? 2 weeks ago, I think. Was supposed to be my last thing that I was doing before taking a 2-week break and just enjoying the holidays and playing games and reading books and watching Netflix and that kind of stuff. But it turned out that I was busy for an extra 2 days, managing all the social media stuff that I still needed to. And then on the Thursday after Christmas, a job came in, which was fun, but more work than I had anticipated. I've actually, I kind of feel like I have had no vacation, and have just been working for the past couple of weeks, except for, obviously the holidays of Christmas and New Year's. Yeah, so I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm really glad that the job came in and it was fun, and I will see the fruits of my labor very shortly because it's going to be on TV. I think this Monday. So that's pretty cool. So can't complain, but I will say that I do not feel like I'm starting this year refreshed. So I will take a break, hopefully next week or something. Hey Nika, Happy New Year. Yeah, TV. Okay, so it was for Big Brother. They're starting a new season on Monday. And they needed some stuff for them to use. And I think they're going to use it right in the first episode because they were in a hurry. So I'm not sure if I can. I don't think I can tell you yet. I will tell you once they have revealed what it is. I don't want to accidentally break any NDAs or whatever. But don't worry, you'll be able to see soon enough. Are you back in Holland, Nika? Or are you still in Slovenia? Also, thank you for the congratulations. Yay, you're back. Well, I hope you had a nice time. I hope you were able to recharge. Probably ruined by sleeping at ungodly hours. Yeah, isn't it awful how when you're other people just keep you? It's such a good way to just keep you on a regular schedule. I feel like if I were living alone, it would be so much easier for me to just totally be out of whack with any schedule that I have. Aren't you tired? Isabel, aren't you tired? Do you not feel a lot better if you just go to sleep at 12 and then wake up at 8 or something? Yeah, I honestly have the same issue. Like, my husband is really good about it. He always goes to bed on time, which helps me because I do tend to think oh, let me just check this real quick, or let me just do this. Let me just do this one more thing. And And then before you know it, it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Though then by that time I do get tired and like go to bed. Yeah, streaming, like it's a lot of fun, but it's also like a lot of energy, which after I stream, like my head is buzzing for like a couple more hours. I'm not sure if you have the same, but I do feel like once I do that, I really need some time to just settle down again. Otherwise, I'm like gonna go to bed. I had that last night. I was busy doing, I don't know, thinking about like the job that I was doing until pretty late, and then I went to bed at like 12 or something, but then I was still up until maybe 1:30 just thinking about all the stuff that I wanted to do and like feeling really energetic instead of settling down and feeling like I wanted to go to sleep. Yeah, freelancing is dangerous in that sense. It can definitely be a pitfall, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. You definitely need some time to wind down. I have the same, honestly, with most art, though. Like anytime I do art, I need some time to wind down, and do something where I'm not at all worried about, I don't know, the way I'm performing or whatever. Otherwise, I'll just keep thinking way into the night. Hey, Puck. Maeve/Isabel was just complimenting me on how nice I sound now compared to before. When I asked, like she let me not. So it was a good investment. See, Githian isn't here now. I think you scared him off, Puck. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, my brain goes brr too. Which is why I usually listen to QI, you know, the BBC show, while I go to sleep. Hey, Captain. Happy New Year. How's it going? Are you all geared up for Art Life 2023? Bye. Thanks for dropping by. Maybe this year will be better than the last one. Maybe. I hope so for you. If you felt like last one was a bad one, because that's what I'm getting from your sentence. Or maybe not. I mean, obviously it's also a matter of luck, but there's also part of what we do about it ourselves, right? At least I hope so. Though honestly, everything tech and regulations and stuff considered, everything kind of seems to have it out for us with the what's it called? The man, I'm blanking. Oh, the Wizards of the Coast thing, the contract thing, the arrangement thing, the D&D thing. Yes, that one. The OGL. Thank you. Hey, Andrelene. Thanks for saying hi. Glad to know you're here. And eet smakelijk, as we say in Dutch, which means have a nice meal. Hey, Yithian. I was just saying to my husband, because I don't know if you got like a notification about it, but my husband Pug, he just found out that I made him a mod like last Wednesday, and so he deleted one of your messages to test out the mod stuff. But I'm not sure. Like, I was like, that doesn't mean that Yithian got like a strike against him, right? So if you got any notification about that, I apologize. That was not my intention. Okay, good. Captain, I don't know how Twitch works. Like, I don't know if you like delete a message if people like get a strike against them or whatever. I'm just trying to make sure that my husband being drunk on mod power doesn't affect people who are just being nice and coming to chat with me. Thanks, Isabel. Thanks for dropping by. Have a nice continuation of your break. And yeah, I have actually been blissfully offline for the past. Like, I have been doing work, but I haven't really read Twitter or like creative news sites for a while, which really helped to just relax a little, even though I wasn't on break. So that was really nice. And I feel like I want to continue that to some degree. Like, on the one hand, I do want to be involved with like stuff that happens in the community. But on the other hand, I do feel like I do want to spend way more time focusing on my own art, I guess. Because I feel like last year has been so much about trying to like promote my stuff, but then my art making time suffering a lot. So I want to turn that back around this year. Did you check Twitter during your break, Nika? Like, I barely even checked Twitter for the past couple days. The past couple weeks even. And it has been pretty nice just to focus on nothing but I don't know, people in my own bubble, I guess. How did I get beyond the FOMO? Honestly, the great part for me about starting such a social media break during the holidays is that I'm usually not on social media that much anyway, just because I'm not working, not behind my computer. I'm spending a lot of time with friends and family. And so that kickstarts the whole process of not thinking about social media anyway. And I guess it's like, it would be a lot harder if you're on your own more and if you're, behind your computer a lot. Because then, it would be a case of physically blocking, but still having those triggers, I guess, around you with like a computer, that kind of stuff. I do have I am logged out of Twitter on my phone and stuff, so I can't check there on a whim or anything. And then for later, I wrote a couple articles on how actually I posted a couple articles on my Substack from an article that I wrote a couple years ago when I first started doing my social media breaks. And basically the way I do keep in touch is by designating like an hour a day to being on social media, and whenever works best for you, that's up to you. But that's what I used to get basically when I was little, like when we still had a dial-up internet. I got like an hour after dinner from my mom to go on the internet and like do my thing, and then I would have to like go offline again, and that would be it for the rest of the day. That did mean that I could, kind of like still stay in the loop, but it did mean that internet was off limits for the rest of the day, which was, not just to like protect me from the internet or whatever, because that wasn't really a thing yet, I think, but mostly obviously a cost issue. But I do feel like it was it would still be a pretty nice approach. And I've done a couple times, fell off the bandwagon, but then, I just started over again, and every period of time that I don't think about social media too much is a win to me. So I don't really mind stopping the practice too much, as long as I think, well, I can start again. Yeah, it's definitely very distracting. Like I definitely notice when I'm like doing the social media scheduling stuff, just to get all my posts scheduled. It's very easy to just get distracted by the posts. What am I doing? Oh, there we go. Talking and drawing is hard, y'all. Anyway, it's very easy to like see a post and then get distracted by something that you see, and then you go like down a whole rabbit hole, and it's like, oh, but I was just gonna post a thread for 2 seconds, and now I'm here for 15 minutes. People keep moving around. Yeah, that's the issue. That's really why I want to like move towards newsletters and stuff more. Though honestly, I do feel like an actual social life has more value even online compared to just doom scrolling on social media. You know what I mean? Like I do feel like I get a lot more energy, and I do feel like I'm spending my time a lot more purposefully, I guess. I'm getting a lot more joy out of like talking to you guys on Discord or during the stream and that kind of stuff, compared to being on social media, checking the timeline in Twitter the whole time, and then getting like frustrated by someone posting something that I don't agree with. Um, so I do not I would not consider socializing, like having actual conversations, on the same level as scrolling on social media, I guess. And maybe that's also because of my experience, just like being an employee. Because I do know if you're in the office, then there's going to be like a lot of banter, and there's going to be, there's going to be periods where people like actually focus, and it's going to be quiet in the office. But there's also, most days are just going to be rowdy. There's going to be people discussing things and making jokes, and if you're like in an office, that's a normal part of the experience. It can be tiring sometimes, but it's also valuable. Eating with habits has been probably so much more joy than social media. Exactly. I'm happy to hear that, Yetian, because I do feel like social media is like sucking up so much of our attention, and I'm not even. The more I'm transitioning towards this view where I think like I'm not sure if it's like that worth it anymore, which is why I think I've said it a million times already, but why I'd like to try to transition back into newsletters more, just because I feel like, it's going to be a lot more slow paced. It's going to be a lot more just sending like an update once a month, once a week, maybe, maybe some message if it's like really time sensitive, but not that constant spamming of like having to update your social media 3 times a week with stuff. It just seems so, I wouldn't say a waste of everyone's time, because I know people love seeing beautiful art, but it does seem like it's so fast paced now that I'm not even sure if people are really getting the value out of it. They're not appreciating the thing anymore just because it scrolls by so quickly. Hey, Lisa. Nice of you to drop by. Happy New Year. I'm not sure how long your message was up there because I was ranting again about social media. I feel like I'm doing that a lot lately, but I guess it's because it's been on my mind a lot. Oh, okay. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I am actually I'm looking forward to a break because I didn't have much of a break, which is for a nice reason, because I got a job. I got like a gig that I was working on last week until like yesterday. And it was fun and stuff, but it was just more work than I anticipated, and I wanted to I need to catch up on some reflecting time, because I had planned on having like the kind of new social media strategy, like reflecting a bit on where I want to post, how often I want to post, that kind of stuff, and I didn't really get the time to do that. Thanks. I was Captain. I was working on Big Brother, which is gonna like start airing here on Monday. I don't want to like say exactly what it was because I'm not sure how much I can say. But you'll see it, or actually, I'll be able to tell you soon enough after it airs, because it's on Monday. I think I would love, to get back to like the topic of social media and like how it's too much. I think I would love it if social media were just still what it is, except people are posting their work not like 3 to 5 times a week, but or daily or whatever, but just once a week posting a thing. Because right now, because everybody's posting so much, there's like you have a feeling that you're missing so much, so you want to be on there all the time in case you do miss something, which kind of sucks because there's so many more better things to do. Oh, cool. So, Yithin, what do you think of Mastodon compared to, other social media that you've been on? Honestly, I feel like I feel like Twitter might be making that choice for us pretty soon. I read a message or a message. I read an article somewhere where Twitter offices, the employees are like being forced to take their own toilet paper just because they fired all the cleaning companies that they had there. So obviously the toilet paper isn't being restocked and stuff. So I'm not sure what's going on with the company, but I'm not hearing good things. Maybe it was just, I'm not sure like how much of a hyperbole it was in the sense that maybe they were just like renegotiating and then the company stopped coming in for like a week and maybe it's like they're like all back now, but I have no idea. I'd have to re-Google that to see if anything's changed, but I remember reading that and being like, jeebus, people. Honestly, like I don't even really want to support the website anymore just because I feel like it's been so badly managed. Oh, really, Rick? That's interesting. Do you like post on controversial topics between air quotes? Yeah, I do. I mean, I do like that there's more of a, just like on Twitter, there's more of a boosting culture that's been cultivated, I guess, because it's also down to a lot of like the mods saying like, hey, listen, likes don't do anything, so you need to boost if you want other people to see this art. But yeah, there's a lot less algorithmic discovery in there. That's a con, I guess. A few of the items in my stream. Hold on, but so do people find your Mastodon from the stream and then like harass you there? Too many angry artists. Yep. Artists have been very angry lately. I mean, which I kind of get. There's been a lot to be frustrated about lately, but we can't take it out on each other. Not personally, like I get angry too, and I yell at people too, but I do hope, I do try to like not make it about the person and more about like the issue at hand. Yeah, I I get that. I've always found Instagram very difficult, I guess. But I got major FOMO from the platform just because everybody was on there. But I've never really enjoyed my time on there, I guess. Just because it was either like being incredibly intimidated instead of inspired, and the posting being such a hassle that I didn't want to keep up with it myself, and nobody really engaging or commenting. So I'd be like, what am I even on here for? I think like in a Discord that Nika and I are in, and Isabel, that was her earlier, are in. They talked about art, but it seemed there was something about it being. I think there were suspicions about it being a setup to scrape more art. So I am holding off on posting there for now. Also because I have my own portfolio website, so I don't really feel the need for for an ArtStation replacement personally. And with that, with the threat of art.io being a scraping setup, I am not in a hurry to set up on that website personally. Like my art is not, nothing on the internet is safe from scraping, obviously, but you are, I think, a lot less likely to be scraped if you're not on like some kind of art aggregate website. Knock on wood. Oh, really, Nika? That's funny. I mean, that's great. Maybe it just like really resonated with the IG art audience more than the Twitter audience. Yeah, and in the meantime, Nika, direct them towards your newsletter. I had someone actually email their newsletter to me. Like I signed up for their newsletter, but they emailed like, oh, I want to, in 2023, I want to make like a renewed effort to give like the cool news. To give my newsletter priority, let me phrase it like that, which kind of mirrored my sentiments, and it was kind of funny because I feel I just replied to that email in the newsletter saying like, good on you, and just trying to make an effort to also reply to newsletters and not let it be like a one-way street, because that's what I'd want from my audience too. And we actually like had a really nice brief email conversation. That was nice. And I was like, yeah, I could see this working. Yeah, but Nika, why did they share it in their stories? What was it about that piece that made them want to share it in their stories? Oh, hey guys. Welcome. There we go. That makes a lot of sense, Nika. Hi, people. How are you? Happy New Year. Welcome to my channel. This is the second time I'm being rated ever, so I'm not really sure what to do right now, except for like, hello, I'm drawing my comic, Netherrealms. You can find like the Twitter stuff right up top in the overlay. You're supposed to be nervous and start. Hey, I guess I'm doing a good job, Rick. Hold on, let me just show you like the stuff that I make that's actually finished, because that gives like a lot there I go, a better impression of what I'm actually doing. So this is my art. I'm drawing a graphic novel which is about a girl, Nergui, and she lives on Earth, in the Netherlands, which is where I'm from too. And she, the whole world falls victim to a pandemic, basically, or like part of the world, which includes Nergui, the girl, and her dad as well. And she basically needs to find a way to get back, and along the way she discovers a lot about like herself and the people around her. And yeah, so this is kind of like the Earth setting. Hey, more dushies. Earth in the Milky Way. And she ends up in like the Netherrealms, which is, the title of the comic. And it's basically a realm which includes death, dreams, and time. So this is Mother Time, basically. And then this is the ruler of the death domain. This lady in the gold necklace, shoulder pad thing. And then this is the now deceased ruler of the dream domain. And yeah, this is Nergui, who's like exploring the Netherrealms, with the help of her friends and stuff. Oh, I should use my pitch. Actually, on stream we made a pitch for Netherrealms, which is Sandman but more Disney. So that's basically the elevator pitch. It's Sandman but more Disney. Thanks, people. I don't know. What's Disney? I don't know. Something like Pixar, except more 2D or something. Oh no, not anymore. See? Thanks, Nika. Oh, that's that's me misunderstanding you, Rick. I thought I didn't get that you were thinking that I was mumbling. So anyway, right now I'm working on the prologue, and the first 9 pages are up for people to read on the Patreon, and right now I'm working on the second scene. I'm working on the second scene, and then I'm gonna post everything. Oh, okay, so I did I did understand you right, Rick. Okay, thanks for clarifying. It's funny, I started streaming the comic. Nika, when did I start? I started maybe 2 months ago. And the first time I was so freaking nervous, And then I got over it pretty quickly just because people were so nice, like you guys in chat, you know, so I felt really welcomed. But then every time I get like an influx of people, I do get flustered again. Just because I want to like make a good first impression and like, oh, what do I do again? Oh, what do they not know? What do I need to explain again? That all the regulars probably know by now. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. This is actually like the comic was a bit of a steep learning curve, actually. Like I've done a lot of comics, you know, when I was young, like in my teens, and then stopped for a while to do illustration. And so I feel like the first few pages of Netherrealms look a lot worse than the ones I'm working on now already, like 17 pages later. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy to see that. Oh, it's time for a break. Okay. Oh, that's a good tip, Pro. I will keep that in mind. All right, so my computer is telling me that it's time for me to take a break, which is a good point. So what I'll do is like, I will take a couple minutes break. I'll run an ad thing so the pre-rolls don't come up for people, but you know, you won't miss anything because I'll be gone anyway. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. Right, I'm back. Different unique visuals. It even feels like its own universe. Yeah, thanks. Let's hope somebody picks up the rights. Though honestly, I'm not sure if at this point I'd want to make a show out of it. Just because I think I talked about it before. Not sure I have. Anyway, I made this story. I wrote this story back when I was really interested in getting into a visual development artist career with Disney, Netflix, Pixar, etc. So it's no coincidence that we've come up with the pitch, Sandman, but more Disney, I guess. But in that sense, like my point is, I can really get why people would say, like, I do feel like it feels like a movie, just because I maybe like subconsciously wrote it with that in mind. So maybe that does help for it to get picked up along the line. However, I did want to make this a graphic novel instead of like searching for people to make a movie or a show with me. Just because right now the story is kind of like my baby. And I kind of want to do it my way. Just because with like a lot of the work I do, I love it. Like I love working with clients and colleagues, just because I do feel like my work gets elevated that way by like, you know, they call it plussing, where you're like going yes and basically on each other's ideas. So I do feel like I get a lot out of working with clients and colleagues. But this is one of the few things that I'm actually doing exactly the way I wanted to. So I don't think I would want to share the making of this with anyone in a significant way just yet. Though I was just saying to Nika yesterday, like, I hope I can get to a level soon where I can like hire someone to do the lettering of the comic for me, just so I can like put a thread on Twitter saying like, looking for a comic letterer. I will not take anything less than $30 an hour, just to like give a different voice to all those people like looking for people to work for like the lowest rate possible, and me just saying like, I'm not paying you any less than $30 an hour. Oh, thanks, Sleepytron. Sorry, I missed your message, but oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm glad that it piqued your interest, and I'm really excited to like get the new pages out soon, because, like I said, I do feel like they look a lot better already. And yeah, sometimes I was like rereading the script a while ago, because I needed to like divide it into chapters, because I'd written it as a movie script, so I still had everything not divided into chapters but into scenes. So I had to like read the whole script again to divide it into chapters again, and I really felt like, okay, even 5 years after writing this, I still really like the script, and I feel like it's a cool story. So I'm glad. I was pretty proud of myself that I actually felt like it held up all those years. So I'm excited to tell the story. Yeah, I do feel like I should maybe I should think about doing those really cool 2-page spreads. Do you guys know it's a really different vibe, but it's so cool. You probably know it. Kill 6 Billion Demons. It's a comic, obviously. I can really recommend it. I needed a while to like get into it, but it's so epic, and it's the 2-page spreads that he does sometimes are so epic. I'm not sure if I can like. I'm not sure what kind of archive. I think he only has like a text archive, so I'm not really sure if I can like look up a spread, but they're epic. So I can really recommend this. It's really, really cool. It definitely is the best feeling. Oh, also, getting a movie made. I made one movie, one short with the company that I was employed with before going freelance. Would I say it was a nightmare? Well, I was on the wrong side of it. No, in hindsight, I can't comment on it because I was on the client side too much. So I'm not sure if it was a nightmare for them or not. I'd have to ask them. I thought it was fun, but I do get that it can like feel stressful. Oh yeah, so for Nightbot is reminding me. For the new people, actually you can kind of find out by reading the first 9 pages, but just to give you an introduction, these guys, what I'm drawing right now, is this guy, Sam. Where is Sam? There's no Sam on this page. This guy, Sam, is, your regular old human, and he was crossing the road while looking at his phone, which caused him to get hit by a bus, basically, because he's an idiot. You shouldn't use your phones while participating in traffic. Now, the difference with a normal death is that these guys showed up, Red and Blue, the owl guy, and they would give him one last wish to like round off his life in exchange for the use of his body, because Red and Blue, they're Netherrealms natives, and being a Netherrealms native is really cool, except anything in the physical world passes right through you and you can't interact with it physically. So they need human bodies to do that. Which is why they're looking for human bodies that are dying anyway, and for in exchange for their bodies for a day, they will fulfill their last wishes, which is what I'm seeing now is on this page right here. So Sam negotiated 4 more months of life in exchange for his help finding somebody that Blue and Red are looking for, which is nice for him, except that meant that Red and Blue had to search for 2 new bodies to use, which is what's happening here right now. So that's the probably kind of lengthy but still short introduction to what's happening right here. And yeah, I just spend the time inking the pages right here, and then maybe do some flatting sometimes. And then when the pages are finished, they go up for patrons. And then when the whole scene is finished, I put up the scene, you know, page for page, on comics websites. Oh yeah, which Nightbot conveniently just dropped in the chat in terms of like links on where you can read it. And honestly, one of my wishes for the new year is to hold on. I'm getting a call and I need to take this. I'm sorry. Hold on. Be right back. Hi, sorry about that. They were installing solar panels on our neighbor's roof today, and I'm glad they seem to be done now, because I was worried about like lots of drilling sounds through the stream. But it's the same company that put like the solar panels on our roof, and they were calling because they needed to like fix something about our solar panels. So that's why I had to pick up real quick. Was I in the middle of saying something when I left? I can't remember. Or had I just finished my rant? Did I? I'm not even sure if I did. But anyway, I will tell you again. My New Year's resolutions are spending more time on art and less on promoting it on social media. Obviously, I recognize the need for freelancers to promote themselves on social media, which is why I'm trying to make a push for newsletters to make a comeback, because it's way more platform independent. Like 99% of people on the internet, actually I would argue 100% of people on the internet has an email address. Whether people use it or not, that's a different story. But anyway, basically, I would like to focus more on like more valuable interactions, like more in-depth interactions like I'm getting with you guys on stream, compared to like, you know, a message of wow on social media, which is like nice and encouraging. Obviously it is. It's just that it comes with like so much noise around it of angry people and, you know, being a time sink, that I'd rather spend it more on a newsletter or just drawing and streaming and that kind of stuff. And then for, let's see, I have it written down, because I usually make year goals anyway, and then divide them into like quarterly goals, which is like a part of this working method that I use. Okay, I wrote them down. So my list is have 50 pages for a Netherrealms graphic novel finished, connected with more of Netherrealms followers. Well, that's, you know, a work in progress always. Still be working as a freelance artist because honestly, you know, last year has been rough for me financially. So it's coming to a point where I would need to just basically just get another job and quit art. And it kind of like entirely depends on how this year goes. So I would love to still be working as a freelancer in 6 months, because I do feel like freelance art career suits me very well. The only thing I'm struggling with is revenue, like most people. Let's see. So that's a big one, obviously. I do something called D&D dress up art packs, which is basically like a solution for people who want to commission me for my art but don't have like a couple €100 to spend on art, which I totally understand, but still want a customizable character. So I've made like these art packs. For now, it's like a male and a female elf ranger, and they, you know, they're customizable with like skin tones and hair color and hair type and some outfits and that kind of stuff. So people will still be able to choose from basically, off the top of my head, it's like 11,000 unique combinations for like $5, which is my solution for people, you know, wanting unique art without having the budget for it. And yeah, and the last one here in my list, I've already mentioned, like spend more time drawing than promoting. If you can avoid it, don't get stranded in welfare. Well, I'm not from the States. I'm not sure if you are, but the system does work differently here in that sense. But I don't need welfare in the sense that I can always just go and get a supermarket job or just switch careers. Like I've been asking around with my family, like if I just were to quit art and pursue a different career, what would you see me do? And they come up with like options like project manager, and I've been thinking of data scientist or data analyst or whatever. So it wouldn't be like me. Oh yeah, Netherlands, obviously. Sorry, I didn't register the username with the more Dutchies. But yeah, I won't need bijstand. I'm also like married, and we don't want to like work off of one income. I don't want to ever be without work, but if shit really hits the fan, then we'll get by. So yeah, those are my New Year's resolutions. Do you guys have any? Aside from, I'm guessing most artists, probably have like the New Year's resolution of like more art, less frustration about social media. Certainly wreck my art career for the foreseeable future. Oh, really? Is it because I have I have heard stories about or heard stories about I've seen enough about like it being really restrictive. If you want to share, of course. If you're not comfortable, then don't. But oh, I knew you could do that. I've never seen it being called that. Bescheidenschal. Oh, and then it's them going back on their rules retroactively. Gosh. Yeah. Man, that sucks. Yeah, the toeslag system is pretty scary sometimes. It's so I would almost want to like say ironic too, because like the toeslagen are meant for like the people in need who are in general going to be like more prone to not being able to find stuff online or like being able to stay on top of their administrative stuff, as well as like people who are like have a high potential for like a good income. So they're like stacking a really difficult system on people who are really bad at it in the first place. So it's triple bypass even. Jeez, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that stuff sucks. Okay. I get your warning. I will take it seriously. But like I said, I hope I won't need it. You can make money but not from welfare? I'm not sure I get it. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, see, health issues, man, that's one of the scariest things. Yeah. Definitely, it's a bit of a catch. It's a bit of a catch 22. Yeah, definitely. I saved up for 6 years before going freelance, just to try and make sure that I had enough reserves. Yeah, gotta love the participatie bit. I mean, if you have to, then maybe. I mean, it's like I have no idea which situation you're in. Like we just met like 5 seconds ago, but I would say maybe you can try and get some volunteer work at a place you'd actually want to be. Like if your hobby is like, I don't know, drone racing, then maybe at a volunteer work at a drone racing club or something. You know what I mean? Hey, so Rick, what are your New Year's resolutions? If you're still there. I think I'm gonna say it every stream, but I really, really, really wish that there was a feature where it would say chatter is typing, so you'd at least know that you're not waiting for an answer that's never gonna come. Refresh your WordPress business, speed up your comic production process. Fix your house. That's a big one. Is it really broken? Also, refresh your WordPress business. Does that mean that you build WordPress websites? Or are you secretly the head of WordPress? Oh gosh, shingles redone. You're gonna do that yourself? Or are you gonna get that done? That's like one of the big things that I'm still waiting for our house to finally start happening. Like that we'll have to like replace the whole roof. Oh, cool. Okay. So if I ever, because my websites run on WordPress, if I ever have small questions, do you mind if I ask them? Shingles are like the ceramic things that cover the roof. Were you Dutch? If you're Dutch, dakpannen. Hands, a hammer, and ladder for the roof. Well, then you have more right hands than I do. I wish you luck. Please don't fall off the roof. Oh yeah, Norwegian. I remember now. Oh, die zit. Wait, hold on. What do Norwegian houses look like again? Norway house. Yeah, so those half wooden houses, and then what do you guys have on the roof? I'm guessing if I'm like looking at like traditional like Bergen houses or something, it would be like those gray half moons. Terrible rash. I'm sorry. That's really funny. Anyway, the stuff on the roof that like that the water slides off of when it's raining. That stuff. The half moon shingles on the roof that are made out of I think they're made out of either ceramic or concrete. Also, thanks Rick for roof tiles. Didn't I say? Oh my god, I could have just said roof tiles. Yes, roof tiles. Working with lighting in on your comic, I moved that to the top of the list. You mean for your comic, or have you moved it to the top of my list for me? Yeah, languages, man. Especially if you like speak 2 or 3 at a time. It gets confusing. Okay, cool. So, do you have like any concrete steps on how you want to tackle that? Because in my experience, the hardest part is there are a million ways to to start doing that stuff. So, do you have like a goal in mind? Who, me? Yeah, I used to read buttloads. Then I kind of quit. But my favorites right now are The Meek by Dershing Helmer, Mata Internum by the same author, Delilah Dirk. I love Delilah Dirk. There's Forgotten Sons on Top Us. What else? I just finished like catching up with Kochub, which is really good, and then Kill 6 Billion Demons. There's a couple. Do you read webcomics a lot? And you know what I'm curious about? Where do you read them? Because I realized, by the way, Rick, don't stop explaining or don't stop telling me about your goal. But I noticed that I prefer to read most of my comics that I follow on their own website. Which is funny because everybody's saying like, oh, start publishing it on Webtoon or whatever, and I feel like I'd much rather do it on my own website because I don't feel like people are finding me on the website anyway, I don't feel like the platform is like doing that much for me. I might be wrong, but yeah, I mean, I don't, like I said, I like I just admitted, I don't have a lot of experience with like actually reading on those websites. I just publish the Netherrealms there just to like see if they bring me new readership that I wouldn't find otherwise on social media. But and compared to like other social media things, it's like relatively little upkeep, so that's okay. But I would like if I had to like choose a website to not publish any more on, because I don't want to like be adding more and more websites to post to. That's one of my goals, to actually be posting less this year. So then it would be Webtoon, just because of their policies, and like the website is a bit funky, and in my opinion, and they've been like going back on their deals with artists, as in they stopped their like creator program or something, which means like an €800 pay cut for some creators, which is kind of icky, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. So, if I'm gonna be like more deliberate, then I feel like Webtoons might not be the best place for me to be. I actually had like I was invited to start posting on a different comics platform, and I actually had a pretty long like email conversation with like one of the reps, just because I wanted to like make sure what kind of platform it was, what their goals were for their creators, and if I wanted to, invest my time in that platform, if they weren't like going to do anything for me. And I decided eventually to just not do it yet, just because in my opinion, they weren't taking like a strong enough stance on AI, which is a big deal for me at the moment, and for like a lot of people, I feel. So yeah, I'm being more picky about. I'm trying to be more picky about the platforms that I start publishing my work on, just because it feels like every time a new platform comes out, there's going to be something bad about it, like 2 days later. Like you've set up your profile, you've moved some stuff over there, posted some stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, this thing about the website sucks, and then everybody goes away again. It's like, okay, not worth all that time. Like with what's it called? The social media thing with a V. What was it called again? Not Venmo, because that's not social media. Vero. I was so excited about Vero, just because, you know, I'm not opposed to like paying for social media, because I'm guessing like the paywall just makes for a different crowd, and I'm not opposed to paying for social media if that means that your privacy is, that your data isn't being sold. So I was pretty excited about Vero, but then it turned out that, I don't know, there were some really shady CEO people or something, and then the whole thing crashed down again. I was like, okay, no use investing any more time in this. Okay, Rick, so what about that lighting stuff? Because maybe I can, like, I don't know. I feel like if you tell me about if you can specify your goals in that way, I maybe I can, like, give you some tips, or maybe some of the other artists here in the chat can give you some tips, or, like, a starting point, maybe? Because, like I said, I feel like there are a million ways that you can approach that stuff, which might make it like more difficult to get started. Unless you're like, no, I want to figure this out on my own, then, you know, all the more power to you. But I'm just saying, I'd be happy to like workshop this, as they say, with you here. For lighting scene-based lights, like window lamp, bright eyes, and lightning current, try singing. Yeah, okay, cool. Not much workshopping to do. I agree. That's been, I would say, okay, so my pitfall, in terms of like mood lighting for the previous scene, was that I was really scared to let go of local color. I think I mentioned that last time too, right? You can really see like the difference between the local color on like these pages, the earlier pages compared to like page 10, which is like the newest page in the new scene, where I was less afraid to like let go of that really bright red of Red's parka. And I feel like that brought a lot more cohesiveness and that cinematic feel to the pages. So I feel like if you want like inspiration to like keep next to you while you're working on that stuff, I feel like Mare Internum is a really good comic to look at. See, Nika, I don't get that feeling from your work at all. I love your use of color. Oh, and also, what's her name? Is it in the... Yes. Robin Frown. Hold on. Let me type this. Okay, so Robin Frown. Look up her work. It's I love the colors. I love the way, like, she makes illustrations, but it's like a comic style, and I was pretty blown away by it when I saw. Hold on, there we go. This. Just amazing work, like amazing color, but still kind of workable in like a comic setting. I mean, it would have to be simplified, obviously, but like this is full illustration, but it's definitely a vibe I would want to emulate in my own comic. And then Mare Internum. Hold on, let me Mare comic. There we go. Overthinking comic. Secret ingredient. Oh my gosh. Maybe you're just quicker about it than you think, Nika. So the Mare Internum, like, I would recommend looking at like the thumbnails of the whole archive, because Dershing's archives are thumbnail based and not just like drop down text based, and you can really see that every scene has a really distinct color palette, where she like really, like, there's some local color in there, but it mostly relies on scene colors, which I think is really strong for like the mood of the whole comic. And yeah, and like it gives a really strong sense of the progression of the story, so I really recommend it. So those would be my tips if you're saying, I want to work on that stuff. And I hope I can add some of my own pages to those examples soon enough as well. Tuckstein. That makes so much sense. And if you would like translate that to Dutch, it would basically be daksteen, which means roof stone. I love Norwegian, where like it makes so much sense to me in written form. Like when I was in Norway, I could understand so much from just reading a text, just because it's like somehow so similar to Dutch. All right, time for another break. I will run run an ad to get rid of the pre-rolls, and I will be back in a couple minutes. Oh, guys, you talk too much. I need to catch up now. I was streaming this morning with 50,000 followers. I think this stream could be equally huge. Let me grow towards that, Rick. I would not like the pressure of 50,000 followers. I'm guessing that maybe 100,000 people show up on the stream. Oh, there's quality control, guy. Is it just me or is the audio weird on the music? The music lags? Hold on, but does my voice lag as well? Then? Because it should be coming in at the same time, right? That's weird. It's not lagging for me, so it's not the output, I think. I mean, like, I do have the channels separated, so I can like upload the VODs without like getting copyright strikes, but that's weird. It's really annoying when you can't like when it's like a service thing or like just for a couple people and you can't like fix it yourself. You know, if there's one thing I have a lot of trouble understanding, it's audio. I feel like it's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like graphic design. I can't grasp it for some reason. For like a split second, I was like, why did I not draw his face? But then I realized it's under the bubble. I mean, I think with any platform, it's going to be like, the engagement is going to be less the bigger you get, like percentage wise. You know how when you start out with like I don't know, a couple dozen followers on Twitter or whatever, then then getting 3 likes is already huge. But then you have like 50k followers, and you basically get less engagement even though you're getting like way more likes. So I'm guessing if you have, what did you say, 50,000 followers, especially if with a thing like Twitch where you really need to be like on at that moment to actually see it, you're not gonna have that many people actually viewing you, I think. That's my guess, anyway. But yeah, I've seen some. Oh, I remember the times. Like I've been rewatching Critical Role, like the first campaign, and they still had their chat up in like the YouTube rerun things at that time, and that chat was like, if this chat were anything like that chat, I would not be able to catch up, just because there's not even any time to read anything. Like, I think at that point, chat would kind of, what's it called? In Dutch, I want to say zijn doel voorbij schieten, which means overshooting its purpose, I guess. Like, there's a lot of interaction, but it's not meaningful anymore. Defeats the purpose. Thank you. That's what I meant to say. Just because there's nothing, I wouldn't be at that point, I would not be able to have a conversation like I'm having right now. Like, I'd say one sentence and the chat would have moved on to 3 other topics by the time I finished my sentence. One of them are peers. Actually, no. So far, I have just been watching Critical Role for a couple years. And we might be, if it all goes well, we're having our first session of D&D, Pathfinder, I should say, next Friday. So in 7 days. Which is pretty cool. I need to revisit my character before that time, the one I made. But it's an astrology-based elf druid, which I thought was kind of cool. Since the 80s? Oh my gosh. I wasn't even born in the 80s. Thanks, man. You're making me feel young. And that's a rare occurrence these days. Usually people just make me feel old. Yes, tell me about your RPing. Is it all D&D or Pathfinder or other games? It's kind of funny because if you're just getting into it, you kind of feel like D&D is like the be all end all for RPing, but obviously it isn't. Vampire. Like I think I've heard that one when I was asking online about like character sheets and if anyone ever used them to flesh out their characters for like a story. And I think someone came up with like the vampire example that they have character sheets that are really extensive. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I do feel like I'm kind of even with like I'm kind of hesitant to like start new stories, I guess, new concepts, just because I'm like too worried that I don't like them. Like even with a Netflix show or like a new book series, I'm like, will I like this or whatever? And I feel like I wish I were more excited about like trying new stories and new games sometimes because there's always a bit of a hump for me to get over. But I think it would open me up to a lot more different kinds of games. Man, there's so many different kinds. I had no idea. I guess my lack of awareness of RPG Kickstarters is due to me, due to my hesitance of trying out new kinds of stories. Just because I get so attached to like the stuff I already know. I guess that's why. I guess it's a human thing, and it's why sequels and spin-offs work so well compared to like new IPs. I guess it's easy for me to get invested because I already kind of know what to expect. Kind of like so one fun thing we did during Christmas break, we saw Avatar, The Way of Water, the James Cameron thing, and I thought it was awesome. Yeah, exactly. So one thing that me and my husband have been doing, like my husband has colleagues that love playing board games, and so we've been doing game days um, over the past year or so. Yeah, since we live here, and it's been really fun to like try new stuff, and I feel like I don't know, just because we're trying like the whole day is like about trying new things, so I feel more open to it, which is kind of cool because it showed me like a lot of fun games, which are like fun, usually fun, short. We've tried a couple more like longer, engaged games that you really need to play twice, but mostly like short and sweet, I think. After two, well, I mean, yes. I thought it was stressful. I thought it was more stressful than one. Just because it's like about kids more. Maybe that's just like my age showing, but also I don't know how old your kids are, but there was a very sad part in it. Especially for kids, I can imagine that that was really sad. But yeah, I loved. I mean, I'm a little biased because Avatar was like one of my favorite movies for years when the first one came out. Because I just loved the setting so much, and I find it kind of funny how the story seemed so much of a. It seemed like it was a standalone movie at the time, and I was surprised when they like announced sequels. And now I really feel like it's building up to something bigger, which is kind of cool. Because I love like trilogies and lengthy, because I don't need to leave the characters behind after one story, and I can just look forward to the next one. Teens and young adults, yeah. I would say that they would really identify with some of the things happening in there, just because like one of the main characters, I mean, a couple of the main characters in there are teens and young adults as well. So and I personally felt like the characters were really well written, in the sense that they definitely sounded like their age. So yeah, I was happy with that. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Lisa, and Happy New Year to you too. And have a nice dinner. Yeah, Sleepytron, like we were talking about like scary movies last week with my husband's family, because his brother has a 16. How old is he now? 6-year-old, 7-year-old, almost 7-year-old. Yeah, almost 7-year-old. And we were talking about how he thought, which one? I think it was Home Alone. He thought Home Alone was pretty scary. Which I can totally get, because there's some like scary stuff happening right in like your house, so those movies can definitely have an impact, even though they're rated for 6 and over or whatever. The biggest impact any movie, okay, no, I have two movies with like huge impact on me, in the sense that not in the sense of inspiration, but like how I was scared for a while. No, now that I think about it. 3. So one is Look Who's Talking To. I'm not sure if you know that movie, but it's about kids, babies like talking. And in 2, there's like this toilet that talks because it wants to, as they say, eat your pee-pee. So, and the kid gets really scared because the toilet starts talking to him really aggressively, like, come sit on me. And so for the longest time, I would like flush the toilet and run away immediately because I was so scared that the toilet would start talking at me. So that's 1. And then 2 are horror movies, which is why I don't watch horror movies anymore. 1 was Cabin Fever, which we watched, and then I was kind of scared of opening my mouth in the shower for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. And the other one was Paranormal Activity, which had me so scared that I could not sleep for a couple nights. And then I said to my husband, then boyfriend, like, hey, I'm coming to sleep over at your place because I'm scared to death. But then I realized that Paranormal Activity also happens to like a couple, so I still couldn't sleep because I was still scared of like ghosts coming to get me or whatever. So that was no success, and since then I have just kind of sworn off horror movies because I just know that I can't handle them. It freaked me out, man. I guess having an active imagination is fun, but not if you watch horror movies. Yeah, it's really funny how it really differs from person to person, because I remember my sister-in-law, because we were talking about horror, she was like scared after watching a horror movie with her friend, but then the friend would be like A-okay, and they were, you know, both, I don't know, 16-year-old girls at the time or whatever. And it's really funny how people handle it so differently. Which one is your favorite webtoon? I would say I'm more okay with like horror in comics, just because I feel like the whole music and like moving media has a bigger impact on me than comics do. Though I wouldn't like reading horror books, I think, because I get too invested in that too. This doesn't need to be really pretty because it's going to be hidden under a text balloon anyway. Purple Hyacinth. On webtoon, yeah. Oh, it looks pretty. Is it a webtoon format though? Or is it... Yeah, it's okay. See, that's also something I can't handle. Is vertical scrolling comics. Not that I have like an intrinsic hate for it, but somehow I cannot get used to the medium. Which is why I'm making a paged comic, despite webtoons being the webtoon format being so popular. But I cannot get over all the scrolling, I guess. And I guess I was thinking about it, like, why do I not like this format, and I think it's also because I like seeing multiple panels at a time. Like, I really enjoy seeing like a whole page and how that how the panels influence your reading direction and how they kind of like influence each other. And I think what bugs me is that I feel really confined if I'm only seeing one panel at a time on my screen. Yeah, I mean, I don't, I definitely believe you that there's like, I mean, every format's going to have like its own advantages, right? And I feel like I have given like a couple a try. Just to see, how they would handle vertical scrolling. And also, because I was curious, like, would I want to make a vertical scrolling comic myself? But yeah, I think it makes me feel claustrophobic. Oh, sickly from vertical scrolling. Do you think it's the same thing as the motion sickness that people get from games? Because that's what I have as well. Like, I get horrible motion sickness from anything first person. Oh yeah, that might explain my aversion. Though then it would be more subconscious at this point for me, because I'm not really sure if I definitely feel nauseous. But I actually funny story about that. I studied game design in college. And so that's how I found out I had like motion sickness from first person games, because I had to design a level for Unreal Tournament, and doing the research for that game was absolute hell, because I would play the game for like half an hour and then would have to lay down for half an hour just because I was so nauseous. And then I had to design a level for that. Well, that was not fun. I don't even remember how did I make that level? I don't even remember. I think I just asked for a lot of help from a friend of mine who was really good at designing that stuff. And I think I was mostly like, can you like place the elements right over here for me so I can actually so people can actually play the level, and then I'll just make the art for it. Just because I couldn't handle doing all the play testing for the actual level. so weird. I have zero realization that it's actually Friday. I was talking to someone on the phone a couple hours ago, and they said, like, well, have a nice weekend. I was like, oh yeah, it's almost weekend. I'm not having the Friday vibes. Yeah, right? It does not feel like Friday. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just because everybody's still getting started up after like Christmas holidays or something. Wait, where are you from, Sleepytron, if you don't mind me asking? Are you European or from the States? Or from somewhere else? There was Friday yesterday. I missed putting the trash out. Nice. Yeah, missing trash day. Oops, sucks. It should be freezing here, but it's not. Oh, cool. Okay, so not in like totally different time zone and environment. It's kind of funny, like if you're live talking to people but you're not really sure where they're from, it's kind of difficult to gauge like how you would, like, it sounds kind of weird, but I would say things differently to a European person compared to like a person from the States, just because I know they're like if you're talking about health insurance to someone from the States, that's a totally different conversation you're having from compared to someone talking about health insurance to someone from Europe. So that's why it's kind of weird sometimes not knowing where someone's coming from. So what made you go to the UK? Again, like any questions I ask, like I'm just asking because I'm interested. If you don't feel like answering, just tell me to fuck off. Just tell me to mind my own business. It's so fun. I'm interested because I used to be like so all for moving to the States, and then the older I get, the more I'm like, no, I want to stay here in Holland with my family, and where, you know, it's not an ideal country, but still I feel like I would prefer it much more over the way things are handled in the States. So that's why I'm having a harder time as I get older to like think of reasons why people would want to move. Working now harder with working in UK. I just think about just staying, so most of the reason for something to move and working in UK. Oh, okay. I get it. That sounds totally logical. Yeah, I guess. I mean, so I know that Ryutsu, I'm not sure if she's still in the stream or not, but I think if I'm remembering it right, one of her reasons to come to Holland from Slovenia was just curiosity, just a desire to like move away and try something else. So I guess there's all kinds of reasons. Though I think one of the most common, I think if thinking back to the people I know that moved to different countries, I would say most of them would be either for work or for partners that were from a different country for some reason or other. Nature and food. I think food is like one of the things you miss most if you move somewhere and you've gotten used to, you've grown up with like a certain kind of food and then you just can't get it anymore the way like they do it at home. So what are some Latvian dishes we should absolutely try if we get the chance? They're not going to be making it like they do in Latvia, but repeat a beer. Okay, well, the beer I'm going to skip on because I don't really drink, just because I don't like the taste of it. Good bread and good meat, though, I can really appreciate. There's a baker here in town, and I wish I could go by more often, just because their stuff is so delicious. Is there anything better than good bread? I mean, for me, it would be good tea. But for anyone that knows me, that's going to be like a godoy. Pasta, yes. A good lasagna. That's one of my favorite things. And Dutch pancakes. I don't know if you know what they are, but they're amazing. At least I think so. That's more carbs, by the way. How about an amazing cucumber? Doesn't really work like that, does it? Oh, Rick. Oh, Rick. It's they're much bigger for one. They're eaten for like lunch and dinner. instead of breakfast. And they're like meals. They're like plate sized instead of small. If you Google Dutch pancakes, then you can kind of see they're way less fluffy. And what else? We kind of like put. It's kind of like. I would say my favorite is like Dutch pancake with ham and cheese and Dutch syrup, which is kind of like maple syrup except thicker. And I, if I can toot my own horn for a bit, I do feel like I do make a really good one. I make pretty good pancakes. Nope, not always powdered sugar. And in fact, I think a lot of the times they don't. I feel like a lot of kids put powdered sugar on them, or people put powdered sugar on it for like aesthetic reasons. But grown-ups will usually eat like ham or apples, or there's even shawarma pancakes. There's all kinds of weird stuff. There are whole pancake houses that specialize in just making pancakes with all kinds of different stuff in it here in Holland. They're like a thing. They're pretty easy to make at home too, by the way, now that I think about it. In my opinion, the secret is letting the dough or the batter sit for maybe 15 minutes or something before you, like after mixing, before you start baking. That makes for some really good pancakes. By the way, now that you're here, I would like you guys' opinion on something. I was thinking of like making the chat more legible by like, I've seen someone have their stream like this side would be like the drawing screen, and then over here would be like any chat and like any messages that they want to have in like an overlay. Do you think that would be more clear, or do you prefer seeing the drawing screen like as big as possible, screen filling? Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I do because I publish the videos to what's it called? YouTube. There we go. My brain power was taken up by this line I'm drawing. So I do feel like the chat is like a good addition to make sense of what I'm saying later. But I'm, kind of looking for a way to like integrate it, I guess, without it being too intrusive. Also, if I want to like ever highlight anything, then it's kind of if I'm like explaining anything or something, it's kind of nice to have like the question come up in the chat as well, like still having on screen. Because if it's up to me, like repeating the question before I answer, I'm gonna mess up. At least some of the time. Just because I have to be honest, I was happy when Critical Role like decided to leave off their chat, because I didn't need to see. There were a lot of people like complaining about choices that the players were making, and I was like, I don't need to see this. But I feel like it's a bit different if you're like actually talking to the chat as much as I do, compared to them who are just basically doing stuff with each other, and the chat is kind of like a side effect. Alright, I think I can finish this panel before it's time for me to shut down the stream and leave it for another day. Your face is pretty? What does she stream? Oh, really? Okay, cool. I'll have to check her out then. That's a really wholesome username to have, man. It's kind of funny because I was really self-conscious 2 months ago when I started streaming about like having a car like that in the background, and now I'm like totally over it already. There's the ugly phase. No, I did not pick my favorite car to use in the background. My favorite, I don't actually, my favorite car used to be Tesla, but now I'm not so much a fan of the brand anymore. No, because, you know, these characters, they're, the couple is supposed to be like, in my mind, they're kind of like a hillbilly type, you know, just not a lot of cash. Taking what they can get type of car. So I wanted to get an old one. And I don't think a Tesla would have been really suitable for that. Nor would a pickup have been, you know, if you're from Holland like these people are. Because people barely drive pickups here. We actually have one in the neighborhood here, and it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in my opinion. I'm actually thinking really hard right now what my favorite car would be. I guess there's no clear winner. My very first favorite car was a Mini Cooper. Obviously, because it's kind of quirky. I feel like a Mini Cooper has kind of like the same vibe as a Corgi. Audi R8. I'm gonna look that up. Oh gosh. Yeah, they look really cool. Actually, I feel like I'm really I would really love for our next car to be an EV. Right now we drive in a Suzuki Alto, which is like a tiny car. But what is it? The Ionic 6 kind of has like the same vibe as the R8 in the sense that, or actually I feel like it looks like a Porsche. With like the curved back. And I think that one looks pretty cool for an EV. Doesn't look like an EV, let me put it like that. Yeah, Teslas are not cheap. Definitely not. But you know, my intention would always have been to like get one secondhand and then just drive it for ages. So do you love a different car now, Sleepytron? Or is it like me that you used to love a car and then you kind of went off that car and then never really replaced it with something else? Oh, that looks weird. I love it. The priority, I mean, as they should be, is spacious and comfy. Gotta love Toyotas. Reliable. Almost done. And then I have one more page to go and then I'm done inking the whole scene. Woo! My previous goal was to have the whole scene finished to post before New Year's. That obviously didn't work out. Though I have to say, inking has been a time-consuming business in this scene just because there were so many characters in it. That needed like detailed drawing. It was more labor intensive than the previous scene, I think. I used to hate inking. No, I'm saying that wrong. I used to dread it because I didn't like inking backgrounds at all. And as you can see, I just forgo I just skipped the whole inking process of backgrounds and just paint it right in. So that made me a much happier inker in that sense. Backgrounds don't count. Well, honestly, there are people that do amazing work on inking backgrounds. I honestly, I don't get how they do it. I personally, I don't know. I just don't like inking all those straight lines. I just get confused by them. I don't know how to make that look interesting in inks, I guess. But I do agree that, with inking this kind of stuff, it's kind of nice to just go over your stuff again and make it all pretty. it's one of the reasons I can do this on stream and still talk to you guys is because it takes relatively little brain power. So it's a nice zen kind of thing to do. I wouldn't be able to stream me sketching the pages, I think, just because, even now when I'm kind of like talking, sometimes I just fall silent because I have to focus on drawing a certain line, and either there we go. Either sketching or like drawing doing the shading for the comic, I feel like I would have to be a lot quieter, just because I would have to focus on having the right layers, having the right colors, having the right settings, and otherwise I would just confuse myself, frustrate myself with like, why is this not working? And then finding out 5 minutes later that it's on overlay instead of multiply or whatever. So what kind of comic do you draw? Is it also a fantasy comic? And where can we read it? Is it on Webtoon? I mean, obviously, you can always work on something for yourself, even if it's just 10 minutes a week. I do totally get it, because I don't think I would be able to work on Netherrealms if I weren't a freelancer, just because it gives me space to, have support from other people so I can make time to actually work on the comic. And if you just have like a regular job and need to prioritize that and other things in life, then I totally get why you wouldn't want to commit to a comic, because I've done the same thing for years and years. That's actually one of my big fears, like having to quit making Netherrealms, because I need to, do other work to like actually pay the bills. But if it's not freelancing, then it might take up all my time, which wouldn't leave me any more time to actually work on Netherrealms anymore. So I totally get it. But it's always fun to, I wouldn't say dream, but more in the sense that like, it's always fun to think about a story if you don't already have one, and just make drawings for that, because that's the way I started this project too 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And then I didn't even start with drawing the comic. Like, I'm not sure if you were there when I showed like the Raiders this, but I just started with writing the story and making illustrations. So this is all done before I even started making the comic. Which isn't to say like, oh, you need to do all this before starting the comic, but I'm more like saying you don't need to commit to making a comic before indulging in making a comic. You know what I mean? Guess I'm trying to say like, just have fun with it. If it's something you want to try out, then definitely do. And just start making sketches, and then you can always see where it leads you. Yeah, exactly. It's not like the only way to tell a story is the comic. Do you know what's she called again? Hold on, let me think of who it was again. Yes. So, whoops. Yeah, Naomi Van Doren. She actually has an illustrated novel, so she does have her story, with like all the art in it, and she has created a world, but she's done it in book form with like illustrations to go with it. Yeah, it looks great. But yeah, that's just to illustrate like that you can, because I think most people that want to make comics, like their intention is mostly like to tell a story through visual means, but it's not really, doing a comic is not the only way to do that, I guess. Is what I want to say. And this might make it a lot more approachable, I guess. Compared to like making a whole comic. But yeah, so, if you want any encouragement, then feel free. All right, so I finished this page and I'm going to head off. I will be back on Tuesday, same time. You're welcome. I'll be back on Tuesday, same time. That's also going to be like the regular streaming day from now on. It was supposed to be this Tuesday, but then I was on vacation, so I moved it to Friday. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you around. Bye. Bye, Rick. Yep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping me company in the chat and being an amazing audience as always. See you guys later.